All right. No one's new, so I won't go over that stuff. Okay, so for this turn, oh man, I can't back up. There's a white line that I was stopped at. I'm braking at that line or a little before if I have draft or something. And I'm actually staying about where I am now. I'm not going all the way to the left. And then I'm braking from fifth down to second. And this is a deceptively long turn. So I'm getting it down into second, and then I'm holding trail brake and turning in right about here. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and then maybe somewhere around here, I'm getting back on the gas. And then that'll throw you out. And I'm not sure how much of it you can use, but you can definitely use some of the gravel out here. I don't think it's necessary to go faster, but especially in a race if you want to be safe. And we're going back from second to third to fourth. And for this turn right here, our goal is going to be on the left side of the track, and we're going to give just a little brake that is about slowing the car down, but also lightening up the rear end. And then I start sliding into the corner, and probably about here I shift into third. When I shift into third really depends on when I feel the car being stable. And then I'll shift into third and get back on the gas when I'm pretty sure I won't go off the track. Sometimes I'm only getting on the gas 10, 20, 30%. Sometimes it's flat out, just kind of depends. And then I'm back on the gas, and then right at the end of that rumble strip, I'm going to start braking for the next turn. And I'm going to head back towards the middle over here. Maybe not all the way to the middle, but part way. And I'm going to brake from second down to first. And then this turn took me a while to get. I was treating it like a hairpin, and while it is, you kind of actually want to straighten the wheel out and go straight for just a hair. You don't want to treat it like a full-on hairpin. Otherwise, you end up running into the curb and not giving yourself enough exit room. So you want to go straight just a second and then back in, and that'll give you the proper line out of here. So that right there saved me a tenth or more every lap once I figured that out. And so we're gonna just drive down. Let's see, we're going all the way up to fifth, I think. And then for the next turn, my brake marker and turn-in marker and all that is the top of the hill. So I'm going to be on the left side of the track, and I'm going to want to kind of go left to right over the top of the hill here. So I'm going to go down from fifth to fourth with a little brake so that I'm in fourth right at the top of the hill. And then I'm going to be giving the car just enough trail brake to break the rear end loose a little bit. And I'm going to do that while kind of sliding down the inside curb. And right about here, like before I'm at the start of this curb, is when it's safe to get back on the gas. So you want to carry all that speed, but then you want to stay on the right side of the track and then give it the gas in fourth gear, and it'll throw you out here. You got to get back pretty quick to miss a 1X. And then you just want to hang with the curve over here. Now for this turn, it's a pretty long turn, but you can take it really fast. I think Philippe took it in third. Arjun's video, I think, was in third, but I'm taking it in fourth. And I'm saying in fourth, I'm gonna brush the brakes on turn in to get the rear end moving, and then probably by about here, I'm gonna have understeer again, and I'm gonna brush them again to get the rear end moving, and then my hope is by the apex here, I'm back on the gas in fourth gear, and I'm thrown all the way out here, and I'm right on the edge. And then there's a there's a U-turn sign to my right. I'm using that as my braking marker for this corner. And since I'm in fourth gear and have a decent amount of speed, I'm going to keep the wheel straight while I brake down from third to second. And once I've got the car in second, I'm going to turn in. This is still a longish corner. Sometimes I'm brushing the brakes. I'm getting back on the gas around the apex in second gear. That's going to throw me out on the rumble strips again. And then I've done one race and I saw some people in this session and everyone's making these crazy wide lines, which to me are just a recipe for disaster. I don't think it's going to make you any faster. And so I only go at best halfway of the track back, and I'm in third, and then I start braking and going down to second. Do note that when you go to second, you may have to turn the wheel straight for a split second to keep the rear end from breaking loose on you. And then this corner reminds me of Spoon at Suzuka. Like, it's just really long, and I think the camper's bad because it's weird. I haven't quite gotten it yet, but I think your goal is going to be to apex about here and get back on the gas. And I think this is one of those corners that you probably want to carry more speed than's comfortable and just keep brushing the brakes around the corner to get some rotation. So that whole corner in second, come back out, and now we're going to go down the straightaway. All right, looking at Johnny's lap versus mine, this is the corner that I can't seem to get. I can tell you what I do now. It's probably not right. I start braking right about here and go from fourth down to second. And I can't figure out where the turn-in should be. So I'm having to hold the brakes pretty much all the way to about right here. I'm gonna clip the apex, get back on the gas for just a second, off the gas, and then I'm gonna turn in and get up here on this dirt a little bit. And I usually shift back down to first. If I carried enough momentum, I'll stay in second. But I'm usually going back down to first, and right around this circle on the left, I'm back full throttle in first. And this corner is awesome and terrible all at once. So the way, if we look straight in front of us, we can see the road kind of has like a bump or a mini hill in the middle of this turn into this turn. So what I do to keep the car settled is right about here, I just start dragging the brakes. More so that I'm not having to reduce speed while going through all these changes in front of me. And so I start dragging the brakes, and then I do a normal turn in. And my goal is to get, you can drive pretty far out here. I think I've been up on the grass. That seemed to just slow me down. It seems like catching just a little bit of this is probably fastest. And so I've gone from fourth down to third as well. And I do that kind of after turn in. And then right about here, I'm just looking down the track, and when I think I won't fly off of it, I floor it. And the rest of the lap is just management. Yeah, I'm just turning in. You do want to be close to that inside curb. You want to come out, and that is all 13 turns. Any questions?
So you think it's dang? I wish I knew the corner number, but that wide corner where you were talking about people going too wide into it. So you think or you feel like there's more time to be had if you stay about middle of the track and then versus carrying all the way out to the edge and then sweeping back across.
Absolutely. Not only is it faster, if you do it, I'm just going to what appears to be dive bombing you, but you just went so wide that I can't help it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I call it dangerous, because it just keeps coming up in practices, and I did one race, and it's like I feel bad, but I'm like, not only is this gonna stick, I'm gonna beat you down the next straight.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't go that wide. Otherwise, and I think the reason it's slower is that you just travel a further distance, and you didn't get any real gain out of that distance. Just what the sloping of the road just kind of makes it so.
I think a lot of people have a skewed definition of dive bomb.
Oh,
I hear people, dive bomb means you overtook me on the inside. You fucking dive bombed me in the corner. It's like, no, I was on your back wheel. You were really wide.
Yeah, and this track in general, as far as racing goes, I mean, it's going to be rough. You can attack people in virtually every corner on the track because it's just so wide and the cars are so small. And so there's no way to drive this the fastest line and not get passed. So I have no clue what's going to happen in the high strength of field races, because if someone behind me could be a second lap slower, but if I want to drive a fast line, they can make my life miserable.
So it's going to be a good week to watch the broadcast.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully the top guys, but so here's the problem is if you qualify in the top 5, you probably are like, okay, let's take the fast line. But the guys who qualify 6th, 7th, 8th are going to be like, no, I'm dive bombing you. So it's going to be interesting for sure. And then 2K Cup is here as well. And I've not done much racing here, but it looks like it's going to be madness. Do you guys want to see a hot lap, or we want to just start practicing?
I'm still trying to remember the corners, but a hot lap would be nice.
Okay, I'll try and keep it on the road.